I have done something that I've never done before, and I feel like empowered ass bitch boss right now because I left a first date in the middle of a meal, in the middle of a second glass of wine, because he was being a little ass problematic mother. And I literally said, hey, I'm straight up not having a good time right now. You are really pretentious, and I'm gonna go.
Pretentious. That's almost like describing coming onto TikTok and bragging, not just describing, but bragging about a date that went wrong, right? And playing the victim card. And this is what women are being taught in 2023, is that if you want to be an empowered boss babe, whatever the hell she just said, you should reject men and post about it on TikTok for sympathy and for attention. Anyways, guys, that is what we are getting into today, because today's cringe compilation includes women dating over 30. Let's check it out.
And I got my purse, I got my jacket, and I left.
You know when you first meet your husband
and talk about pretentious, she called this man pretentious. I don't know. I think that coming onto TikTok and trying to get a sympathy card and, ooh, look at me, I'm rejecting men after they're taking me on expensive dates, I'm leaving mid-drink. I think that's pretty pretentious. What do you guys think?
literally laugh at anything he says. Like, he could say the dumbest shit and you will fall off your chair at the restaurant laughing. And then you're 7 years in, married, and you just look at him like, what the hell is inside your brain?
Okay, I have an issue with this, right? Because who's at fault here? Okay, so she's the caption here says first date versus married. Okay, and she says that this man makes a joke and you would be laughing so hard if he made that joke. But then by the time you're married, if he makes the same joke, you give a disgusted look and can't comprehend what this man just did to you. This is absolutely disgusting. And I'll tell you what this comes from, guys, is it's very simple. Women mistake thrill and emotion with love, right? So that's why we have so many women getting into situationships and so many women dating after 30 who say they can't find love. It's because they chase this thrill. And, you know, I'm sure on the first date it was a thrill, and yeah, you know, he said a joke, so you're attracted. That's what it comes down to, is your level of attraction to the man, not the man's joke himself or the man's character. And when you go literally over a decade, or you end up going from 20 to 30 plus years of age and dating, a lot of these women who have experienced a lot of male partners end up just completely losing their, I don't know what it is, but it's some sort of emotional trick that happens in their brain that fools them into thinking that they're loved. But later down, they don't have this thrill, they don't have this excitement. Oh wow, I married this guy and now he's a nice guy and he's a provider and he takes care of me. This isn't the bad boys I've been chasing my whole life. Where's the thrill? And so they come up with, oh, I must not be in love. Or you hear things like, oh, I didn't feel the butterflies, so that's why I divorced him. That's why I left him. And yeah, it's just kind of sad because this compilation is all women over 30s, and I guess this woman's married here. I don't know if she's divorced or not. But if you're a woman with your thousands of options, and most of these women in these videos are quite beautiful, so they do quite literally have thousands of options. I mean, you have to be somewhat attractive to put on 6 pounds of makeup on your face and go into TikTok and cry and whine and complain in front of thousands of people who literally don't care about you. Anyways, guys, I just got back from the gym a little bit ago and I am jacked up on pre-workout. So I'm going to try to not be too chatty so you guys can endure the rest of this compilation.
What is your brain made of? He left tissue inside one of the trouser pockets and put it in the wash, and now all of the laundry is covered in fluff. And his suggestion was, we'll just sellotape it. We'll just sellotape, lift the fluff off. Also, that was in response to me saying, this fluff is not coming off. This is such a long job. And he decides, like, to say sellotape. Like, do you know how long that would take?
Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm wrong here, but this doesn't seem like that big of a deal. If a guy made a joke, right? That shouldn't bring up such a level of disgust to where you're talking crap about your husband or former husband on your social media. I don't know, man. This is weird.
All of you women out there would have laughed your ass off at that. You'd have made him feel amazing and so hilarious. That's the dumbest shit I have ever heard. And
yeah, so careful, guys who are married out there. Don't make a joke to your wife, because the odds are that she has poor bonding skills because of the dating situation in 2023. And if you make that joke and it doesn't police her enough, she might end up on TikTok talking crap about you, embarrassing you in front of your friends, her friends, and both your families. So you've been warned.
Hilarious. That's the dumbest shit I have ever heard.
And speaking of marriage, could you just imagine being married to this attitude? Could you imagine telling a joke and then being told that's the dumbest crap you ever heard, and I'm going to post this on TikTok about you and look at you with disgust? And meanwhile, you know, you're expected to pay the bills because you got to be the man, right? And you're probably afraid to leave the marriage because this woman can take half your crap. You know, I swear I had to edit out like 30 seconds of motorcycles riding by my house. I don't know what it's been this month. It must be the weather, but there's a ridiculous amount of motorcycles riding around. Anyways, yeah, just do yourself a favor, fellas, and don't marry a girl who is going to look at you with this type of disgust and talk crap about you on the internet for simply making a joke.
So hilarious. That's the dumbest shit I have ever heard. And
here's something I think a lot of women need to hear from time to time. If a guy is constantly telling you and reminding you or coming up with ways to explain to you what a great guy they are, run. Run. Good people don't try to convince people that they're good. They're just good. They don't need to do any convincing.
Yeah, that's pretty much common sense. That goes for men and women. If somebody is trying to convince you and manipulate you into thinking you're a good person, they're a good person, they have all these tales of, it should just be obvious, guys, right? But you guys have probably heard Taylor say this 100 times on his channel if you've been watching for a while, but you know, fathers used to mean something in the household, and if you just let your father pick, it's not that hard. It doesn't even have to be a father. If you just take a random dude off the street and say, hey, can you select my future husband? He's going to have a quite accurate level of precision on what type of guy is going to create a good husband and what type of guy has red flags that you should run from, right? But these girls in 2023, for some reason, don't have that capability, don't have that ability to discern what is right, what is wrong, what is a red flag, and what is not. And actually, I take that statement back. They do have the ability to discern what is a red flag, but they choose them anyways.
Actions speak louder than words. So if a guy is sitting there trying to convince you that he's a good guy, run. I should have.
And that was her right there. If you didn't catch that at the end, saying I should have. So she's not just coming on to TikTok giving her girlfriends good advice on dating and healthy advice, like, oh yeah, you know, don't chase the red flags. She's just admitting her mistakes and saying I should have ran from the red flags. But if we look at the patterns in dating, she is most likely not going to take her own advice and keep chasing the red flags. And that is why she has landed herself a spot on this dating over 30 compilation. Let's check out this next clip.
If I want to have 2 kids, at least 2 kids, before 30, then it means I need to be married by like 26, 25. But if I want to be dating for like 2 years, that puts me back to 23. But if I want to meet the person first, start a friendship, and then go into dating, that needs to take a year. So that brings me back to 22. And then if I wanted to have some early years where I'm single, living it up, that brings me back a couple years there. So basically I needed to have met my future husband yesterday. Great.
Yeah, it's almost like some foreign concept that, like women used to get married when they were young, right? And it's different times, different situation, different economical situation right now, right? So it's different. But there are federal studies that show that women who marry before 30, women who marry specifically in their early 20s and without cohabitation beforehand, end up in the most successful marriages. And I don't know why it's like some bizarre thing that like a girl's like, oh yeah, I should get married in my early 20s. Like the problem is she pointed it out. I want to have a few years of single fun. What do you guys think that means? Do you guys think that means, oh, she just wants to be single and alone and journal and go to the theme parks by herself? Or do you think that means she wants to ride a carousel before she's locked with a man for life? Or at least till she divorces him and takes all his crap? I don't know, man. It's like some foreign concept nowadays of dating young. You don't need to have a hoe phase. All your girlfriends might tell you that it's necessary for your healing, but I can guarantee you, you don't need to have a hoe phase.
That's great. All right, we're not going to plan, so that's what that is.
Been dating for quite
And
a
that's kind of ironic. She said that we're not going to plan. Yeah, we know.
while, and now you finally found that guy who seems to be the perfect guy. And you've been on a number of dates, and it's been going really well, and you're interested in him, and it seems like he's interested in you as well. And now you find yourself wanting to stop dating other men, and you want to take your dating profile down, and you want to make yourself available for him so that he knows that you like him and that he knows that you want to be with him. A masculine energy man, the kind of man you say that you want, he won't feel threatened by you dating other men. Quite the opposite.
That's BS. That is BS. That's BS. Okay. I'll tell you, man, what's going to happen. The masculine man, as you say it, who doesn't feel threatened by you having a roster of dudes coming to your house at night. He doesn't feel threatened for sure. No, he doesn't feel threatened, but he's never going to commit to you. Why the hell would he? Why the hell would any man with half a brain commit to a girl who's sleeping around or dating multiple dudes, being taken dates by multiple guys? That is the dumbest thing a guy could ever do. And she's going to go in here in a second about pursuit and stuff like that and how it's all about how the man pursues. It's just BS. I'll let you guys see for yourself.
A masculine energy man, he enjoys the chase, and he will see that you are more valuable because you have a lot of other options. To go exclusive with a man before he even asked you is giving your power away. It will make you feel vulnerable in a way that is perhaps not so good feeling to you. It makes complete sense because we have been taught to not offend a man. When we feel guilty because we're dating other men and because we're enjoying our life instead of being with him and making ourselves available, it's actually signaling to him that we find ourselves less than. What I want you to do here is continuing dating other men and continue with your life and allow your feelings of fear, of guilt, of...
This is the dumbest advice you could ever give to somebody. I'm sorry. But saying just, oh, be a hoe, date a bunch of guys, and ignore your feelings of guilt because we don't really need morals or any sort of shame in 2023 when it comes to dating, right? Because we're all sexually liberated and we can all wreck our own lives. But I don't know. Would you take advice from this woman? on anything, not just dating. I'm assuming she's still searching for her Mr. Right, but somehow has obtained all of this knowledge. But would you guys trust her with any sort of advice? I know I would not.
Want everything that you feel, allow it to come up and pour love all over it. It's those guilty voices that are actually preventing you from finding the true love that you're looking for. So
it's called having a conscience. It's not a bad thing to have guilt, to have shame. It's not a bad thing to feel like you shouldn't be doing something. And this is honestly evil advice. This is the worst advice you could give to a girl. Take it from a man, right? I know I'm just an animated samurai on YouTube, right? But I would never, and I don't know a single friend of mine that I respect that would consider dating a woman after finding out she has a roster of men that she's being taken on. Some are taking her on dates, some are coming over at 2 a.m. and just, I'm going to keep this PG, but some of the men are just coming over at 2 a.m. Some of the guys are just there for attention that she texts throughout the day, but she never actually meet up with. And she has all this guilt about, wow, like I'm young and I'm beautiful and I'm clearly wasting the best years of my life manipulating men. But hey, there's this lady who is on TikTok and she told me that I'm a woman, so I shouldn't have guilt or shame in my actions. Women power, right? Yeah. Okay.
Invite them in and love them. For more feminine energy relationship tips, please go to my bio and download my free ebook and hit the plus button.
Okay. Yeah, guys, for more feminine energy tips, recommend to this lady because, yeah, just let me know what you think about her feminine energy in the comments, guys. Anyways, that is all I've got for you today. I've had an obscene amount of caffeine today, and I'm probably talking a little too fast, probably being a little bit ranty. But anyways, fellas, I appreciate you stopping by. If you came over from Taylor's channel or any of the other Fiend Gang content creators, that's all we've got for today's compilation. I will see you in the next one very soon.